The terrifically fun, really funny comedy Platonic is back for its second season. I'm talking with the creators, Francesca Del Banco, Nick Stoller. So, Francesca, what do people need to remember about this first season to come back for season two?
Well, at the end of season one, Seth Rogen's character Will has gotten engaged to a woman who he works with, and he's moved to San Diego to live with her, and they are starting to plan their wedding. And Rose Byrne's character Sylvia Greaves has just started a party planning business, and Seth invites her to plan his wedding. And things seem to be pretty good in their friendship. Although Seth moving away from Los Angeles to San Diego means that a couple of 100 miles divide them now, and so they don't see each other as much as they used to. And they're both in pretty happy places at the end of season one, but they are not quite as much in each other's lives as they have been for season one. That's where we pick up with them.
And there's a storm on the horizon.
And that's the tease that you can give away for that. We have obviously Rose Byrne, Seth Rogen, who we know and love from Neighbors, that great relationship they built, which Nick, you directed. What was it like bringing them on board for this project as well, to work with them again, but as Platonic, as friends in this?
You know, on Neighbors and Neighbors 2, they just have such amazing chemistry, and it's a kind of chemistry that's really hard to find between actors, and they kind of felt it. We all felt it on those. In those movies, you know, they're married. They're kind of one character with one goal, which is to get rid of the fraternity, get rid of the sorority. And what was exciting about Platonic was I knew that they would be able to finally fight with each other and get into really brutal fights in a way that you don't really want to see a married couple do that, you know, except maybe in a drama. And so there was something I knew that was going to be fun, and they're going to be very funny fighting with one another, and they have been.
They are so much fun to watch on screen together. And obviously, you two, a married couple as well. Francesca, being a married couple, did it kind of persuade you guys to try to make them romantically involved? Or did it, obviously, you wanted to stick with the title of the show, Platonic? Was your guys' relationship at all kind of an influence to maybe not do that? What was that like for that?
Well, we really wanted this show to be about platonic friendships. But I would say that, I mean, we are married to each other. I have a lot of platonic male friends. Nick has a lot of platonic women friends, and we are married to each other. So there was a kind of natural way in which we thought, like, one of these characters should be married at least, so that we can explore the pressures that those platonic friendships can bring to bear on a marriage. You know, I mean, I think that it's very healthy to have platonic relationships with people of the opposite gender. It's great, but I think it's kind of complicated in some ways too for people who are married, and I think it can raise insecurities, and I think it can create a kind of tension in a marital dynamic, and we thought all of those things would be interesting to explore rather than to just ignore and have it be like, they're such great friends and nobody cares about it. So I would say that, you know, we're married people. We know these things firsthand.
I mean, this was, you know, I think the show was Francesca's idea and is primarily based on, I think some platonic friendships that she has. And so it's not really based on it can't be based on our marriage. We're like married. This is not a platonic.
Insecurities are obviously evident on screen that people are going to be so related to. And Nick, I mean, you obviously have a great relationship with Seth Rogen. You were just in the pilot of The Studio, which was so funny to see you come on creating the Kool-Aid Man script instead of Martin Scorsese. What is it like working with him and just creating these different roles in these different projects?
Well, that was the one time I've acted. I was in a few episodes of The Studio working on the Kool-Aid movie. I mean, I've known Seth since he was 18. I've known him forever. We kind of came up in the business together. He's an old friend of mine. I felt very flattered when he asked me to be in The Studio. And I mean, it's very different being, you know, I think, it's very different being on camera than it is, you know, I think working behind the scenes. But my entire career has been behind the scenes working as a director or writer. And Seth's super funny. He's very like, he's a really great producer. He's a brilliant writer. And it's just great getting to collaborate with him. I feel so lucky I met him when I did, and that we've come up together.
All of these collaborations with Seth Rogen, with you two, Platonic at the forefront. New episodes Wednesdays on Apple TV+. Thank you both so much.
Well,
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
This show is all about Platonic, and it's called Platonic. I'm talking with one of the stars, Luke McFarlane. So thanks for chatting with me. Tell us more about your character in this show.
I play Charlie Reeves. He's married to the amazing Rose Byrne, who is Sylvia Reeves. Actually, I think, no, I don't even know my wife's last name on the show. I'm so sorry. You're going to have to edit that out. But basically, it's about, you know, it's about my wife's friendship with her old-time male friend and how that can be a little bit difficult for me at times.
And
Partly.
it's so much fun. It's obviously Rose Byrne, Seth Rogen, who had this magical chemistry in the movie Neighbors, and now it's evident here again, but they're just friends in this, like it says, platonic. What is it like kind of being in that relationship with the three of them for this show?
Well, I think the first season was about how uncomfortable that was for me. And this season is really about what does Seth and Rose have to teach me about maybe being a little more comfortable in my skin. So this season is different than the first season, but I'm a firm believer in having long-time platonic friends in real life. So I think it makes us a better person. So I think the show should encourage us to all stay friends. Stay friends with our old friends. Stick with your old friends. Make new friends.
Absolutely. It's great advice that we're getting from the show. And I was so happy at the end of the first season to see, yes, they are platonic. They are strictly friends, because there are times where you think, are they going to get together? Are they going to change the name of the show because of it? But I'm so glad that it stuck with that. Was that evident from the beginning as actors as well?
Yeah, totally. I think the show is about that anxiety. And I think the audience are right to have that feeling, because that anxiety is really a big part of the first season. But I think the show can also really open up to this whole new level is unlocked when we're just like, it's about keeping a relationship fun and healthy and going once you can kind of let go of that anxiety. So
You're absolutely right about that. And we have season 2 here coming out this summer. What can you kind of preview about where this storyline takes us here?
Well, I think if season 1 is about Charlie being sort of a rock and a stable, good guy, this season he kind of loses his footing a little bit more, and he depends on his wife, Rose, to sort of be the rock that she maybe wasn't in the past. So that's definitely something to look out for. Specifically, if there's anybody who's a fan of the television show Jeopardy! Jeopardy makes a very big appearance in this show. So my character gets to spend some time on the stages of Jeopardy! So look out for that.
This is a great tease for audiences. Obviously, Jeopardy airs on my network in WTHR in Indianapolis, so I know audiences will look for that. What do you hope? Hopefully, there are future seasons in the work. What kind of hopes do you have for your character going forward?
Gosh, it's a really good question. I think it'd be really interesting to see who Charlie's old friends are. It'd be interesting to see who he's been friends with for a really long time. I'd also be very interested to know about Charlie and Sylvia's college days. I'd be curious to know a little bit more about how they met in college, actually.
We need to get these backstories, so there needs to be more seasons of Platonic. But first, you have to watch season 2 Wednesdays on Apple TV+. Thank you so much, Luke.
Thank you. Nice to chat with you.
Yeah, you too. Thank you.